when you come from a family that's such a strong dynamic as the one that I come from, and then you come to a city that has a mentality of every man for himself, I think those really collide, especially with who I am. My dad, my whole life, he was a barber, and he worked in a barber shop right down the street from where we lived. So it was cool because he knew all my friends, he knew everybody in our community. He also knew all my friends' parents, their dads who came in the shop too. So it was like he ended up being like a popular person in our neighborhood. A lot of people wanted him to run for mayor. He knew a lot of people in Atlanta just because he was the older, wise gentleman in the shop. He worked with a lot of younger people, but he was like the guy in there who had a family. We had family meetings once every 2 weeks where we would all gather in the living room and we would all talk about our goals. We would talk about what we did that week. We weren't allowed to say anything was hard. The word hard was not allowed. My dad would always correct us and say, no, it's not hard, it's challenging. Because he would always say anything is actually something that you'll learn how to do over time. Okay, I'm gonna come out there and figure out something cool to put in that class part. I don't wanna make it regular.
Hey Vaughn, hey Vaughn, hey Vaughn.
So when I write with specific people in mind. I write, instead of trying to write for everybody and then not reach anybody, I'd rather write with a specific person in mind because I know that there's many people in the world just like that one person. So it's funny because growing up I was never allowed to go to the studio with my mom when she was working on her own music. I was a little kid. I would have probably been a distraction in the studio. But now being able to go back and work on my own music is just a powerful process. Like the studio is a space where you really can be free. I go to the mic just like I'm praying. And I step up to the mic, close my eyes, and I say what I feel like God is telling me to say. And I just kind of let it flow.
Picture me in a frame, Jimmy stain that you hang on the pain in the main of domain, and my face is the trace of the race that they hate, but they place full of bass from the songs that I make.